Three, two, one.
Hey, buddy. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the podcast that always feels like it's a wooden spoon podcast, not a grand final podcast.
Yeah, this wooden spoon.
Yeah.
But it actually
Yeah.
is a grand final podcast, but it feels like a
Correct.
wooden spoon.
It does. It does indeed.
If it doesn't
You
make
know.
sense, you're in the right place. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're all retards together.
Yeah.
We all enjoy this podcast. And for those who don't, stick around, like and subscribe anyway. And give us a charity like, give us a charity subscribe. Big news today. We've got to cover AFL. We've got to cover NRL. There's been the end of a dynasty.
Yes.
And there's also been a big win up in Brisbane. So I think
Yeah.
we just kick off with the AFL
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
kick being the operative word, because I think people down in New South Wales are generally rugby league centric. So I think that's the way to go. What do you reckon?
I think let's kick off with AFL, and no better place to start than Snoop Doggy Dogg. You know, he
Yes.
like I watched his performance. Did you watch it? And he played all his best hits, like "Drop It Like It's Hot" and "Yo bitches, bitches, bitches," and "This shit ain't gonna suck itself," and "Yo shit pop cap in your ass," and yeah, he sung his best hits, and they were great. Cheers to Snoop Doggy Dogg.
Yeah, you know what? People talk about halftime entertainment. We get all these big rock stars and rap stars out from overseas,
Yeah,
pay them a great big truckload of cash.
yeah,
I'm not that big on it. I just want to watch the bloody game. If
yeah,
I wanted to watch a concert, I'd buy a ticket. I get it. There's the purpose of the exercise for making it a grander day than what it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
I understand. I'm not all that wrapped up in it. Uh, for the sake of the conversation, I think he did okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a robust 7 out of 10.
You
Didn't
pay
blow my
someone
head
that
off, but
money
he was okay.
that you pay someone that many millions of dollars, they're going to go okay. There was not one Aussie that was performing. It was all Americans. You could just tell, right? He
Yeah,
brought
well, sorry for my phone. It just fell, but that's okay.
Snoop brought his entourage, and I even saw like LA there. Like, what's like it felt really not Aussie. If I had one gripe about it, I'd be like, I did think, can't we just pay an Aussie, all this money for the same shit? But they got views. Did you see it was like millions and millions of views? But they probably would have got that anyway without like Snoop. It wasn't about Snoop, anyway.
Yeah, look, they probably would have. It's neither here nor there for me. It's the
Yeah,
game, but
yeah,
I gave him a solid 7 out of 10. I don't think there's anything special. I think it works better at night.
yeah,
Just quickly,
yeah.
do you know who the NRL entertainment is?
No, no.
A guy from America called Teddy Swims.
Oh, I don't even know who that is. So like that's it. That's it. Is like, why can't we get an Aussie? Is that okay to say that? Like, you
I
know,
don't know, but we've got this.
these days you're racist if you say you want to get an Australian. You can't say that. You're racist. You want an Australian. Well, like I just
No, I think people just think that it's cooler to get someone from overseas. It's not necessarily the truth in my book, but Mr. Teddy Swims is coming over.
oh, yeah.
I mean, he's such a huge name that we just thought we'd bring 20 truckloads of cash to his front door and say, Teddy Swims, come play at the NRL Grand Final. Because let's face it, sometimes he's such a household name that during Christmas, we forget about singing Christmas carols around the tree and bust out into some Teddy Swims
Um,
songs.
I know we've got to talk about games and stuff, but
Yeah,
like just to talk about the entertainment,
yeah.
don't you think rugby league should have like an 80s Aussie or 90s Aussie kind of rock band, like a like a green spoon, ACDC, it's just something like that. Like I feel that's
You know what?
yeah,
I think it would work better, but I don't think our administrators are particularly bright. I
yeah,
just think that they think that if they get someone from overseas, it'll do better. But I also think that they think too much about it too, because at the end of the day, a lot of people miss half the entertainment. They're too busy stuffing around with a barbecue or having a conversation or having a drink. I don't think anyone really cares.
right.
Even people at the ground just talk amongst themselves half the time. But
Yeah, okay.
enough of the entertainment.
All right,
We'll
no.
probably just
Yeah.
dig into the AFL.
Mm.
Brisbane 122 beat Geelong 75.
Smashed them. Smashed them.
So absolutely annihilated
The
them.
half time it was even. Half time was so like
Yeah, I believe it was,
yeah.
yeah, 36 all, I believe.
Yeah, yeah. So it was that what they call it the premiership quarter, that third quarter, and again it was. Yeah.
Yeah, the floodgates well and truly opened
Yep.
for Brisbane, and poor old Geelong just got left in their wake. It brought back PTSD for me because I'm a huge Swans supporter.
Yeah.
And essentially, last year it was over at half time. Well,
Yeah.
this year the onslaught happened after half time,
Which is better.
and
That's better.
yeah, it is. It is much better, so
Yeah.
people can enjoy the game for a bit longer.
Yeah.
Big props to 21-year-old Will Ashcroft for the Brisbane Lions.
Oh, yep.
He is now the owner of back-to-back Norm Smith medals,
Yeah. Wow. Huge.
which is at 21, man of the match in both grand finals. So that's amazing.
And
I mean, yeah.
like I bet not many people have won more than two of them. Do you know what I mean? Like it's that's amazing.
No, I mean, what was I doing at 21? Working for minimum wage. What am I doing at 48? Working
Whatever
for
the
minimum
minimum
wage.
wage. Yeah, well, there you
Not
go.
much has changed.
Okay, I really want to talk about rugby league. Is that okay?
All right,
We'll
we'll
do a
talk
bit
about
more on the
rugby league.
rules. Yeah, but
Congratulations to the Lions up
yeah,
there from Bris Vegas. You won by a 47-point margin. I
yeah,
will say this, it was a phenomenal effort, given the fact that they lost the first semi-final, which was the
yeah,
qualifying grand final, to the Cats 3 weeks earlier by 38 points. They
yeah,
went the long way around and they absolutely smashed them.
yeah, yeah.
So there you go. I actually, before we move on to the NRL, we will quickly.
Yeah,
But
yeah, quickly go. Yeah,
I think that's the worst way to lose a grand final, knowing that the team you lose to in the grand final gets smashed by, you actually already beat
but
once in the semis.
you're right. That is the worst
Yeah,
way. That is the
absolutely.
way.
Yeah,
But at least they were even at half time, you know.
yes. It's the worst way to lose a grand final. To me, the worst way to die is falling down a wheat silo, but that's a story for another day. We'll
Yeah.
move on to the
That's not
NRL.
how I'm going to die, Drewy. I'm going to die with a beer full of a gut full of beer and a missus on this end and missus on that end and partying hard and doobies with my mate Snoop Dogg. Hey, that's how we're going to die.
Well,
Doobies, doobies in hand.
I'm quite random. I actually want to die in a tragic blimp accident, but that's
Okay,
just
yeah, yeah,
me.
that's even better, you know.
Yeah. So, will we
Yeah.
start with the Sharks and the Storm, get that out of the way, or do you want to do the dynasty, end of the dynasty match?
Sharks and Storm, there's not much to say. Let's just do it.
No.
Sharks were shit. Storm won.
Yeah.
Storm are looking good. Storm of the inform.
That's it.
It was a pretty boring game.
It really was. The real winner in that one was the full-time siren.
Yep. So let's move to one of, if not the most epic games this year. Brisbane knocking out four times premiership winners, the Penrith Panthers, and they were down by 14-0. Was it 14-0 at half time? I think it was.
Yes, down by 14-0 at half-time, which is
Who'd have thought that?
amazing.
Who'd have thought that? And it could have been more. It really could have been more. Like,
It could have been.
yeah,
I've always maintained that halftime and the halftime siren is either the very worst or very best thing for a side.
Yeah, yeah.
In this case, the very worst thing for Penrith because they felt and it looked as though
In
they
control.
had the game well in control. It
Yep,
didn't look as though they were struggling at all.
yep,
And Brisbane, to their credit, I hate giving Queenslanders credit, but
yep.
credit where it's due on this podcast. They were phenomenal in coming back because no one ever comes back against Penrith when
Yeah.
they're losing 14-0 against Penrith, let alone to do it in a preliminary final.
Who were you going for? Did you go for Broncos the whole time?
Mate, I was kind of split. It was
Yeah,
like, who do I go for, Hitler or Saddam Hussein?
yeah,
Uh, I, I didn't really. I guess Brisbane by a fraction because
yeah.
I
I
didn't
was
want
about to say
Panthers
Saddam
to
then,
win
but
this one.
then I thought I don't want to upset the neo-Nazis. No, no, listen, Drewy, I was going for the Panthers, right?
Yeah,
First half.
yeah,
I'm like, look,
yeah.
it'd be great to see a dynasty, another year. Let's see it.
Mm.
And the second half, I got this message from Rich, and he's like, wow, look at the odds. Blonde bet odds were like
Yes,
Brisbane to get in went from, 12, nothing to $12 or something. I don't know why he sends it to me, right? And
yeah,
then it was like the commentators were fully behind him, right? The commentators of
yes,
Brisbane
yeah,
and
yeah,
the crowd. Of course, the
yeah,
crowd was Brisbane, but the crowd
yes,
were going berserk, right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
you could see the crowd. Are you allowed to say that? Is it just BS when you hear that a crowd can get a team over the line? But
No, it really can. I
yeah,
think it absolutely can, but I just think that quite often in these games, sides at various points in the game just get locked into a zone,
yeah,
irrespective of the crowd. And sometimes just you can feel the wave of momentum. You can
yeah,
watch it, whether you're watching on TV or whether at the ground, and you just kind of felt that
yeah,
that was happening. I don't want to take too much credit away from Broncos because they deserve every single bit of that credit. But it did to me also look like, and you've got to consider all things. It
mm,
did look like it to me at the end that the Panthers started to get a little bit tired
mm,
from a very long season. You've got to
yeah,
remember they were coming last after
yeah,
round 12.
yeah,
And I think some of that juice that we've talked about trying to go the long way and
yeah,
having to climb Mount Everest kind of took its toll a bit at the
yeah,
end.
yeah, yeah. But like, how was that last try? Where that Reese was,
Yeah.
he did that like basketball kind of shot with the ball.
Yes.
and and
Yes.
and the try and they kept making he kept missing the field not field goals, the conversions, and
Yeah.
to Bugalugs, what's his name, Reynolds.
Adam Reynolds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and and like it really felt good him kicking it too, because you're like, oh, they've given it to the old fella because the young fella
Yes.
stuffing it up. So like they'll give it to the old fella. And he nailed it. And just the excitement. I was going for the Broncos. Unlike you, I don't go for the Broncos. Can't stand them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I started thinking too, like, the Broncos lost
Mm.
this in both AFL
Yeah.
and NRL in 2020.
Yes.
How good was that?
Yes.
Like, it was sensational. Let's admit.
That was awesome.
It was
And I
great.
know where you're going. I know where you're
Yeah, yeah. But
later.
yeah,
They've got the chance for reverse redemption.
yeah, total reverse redemption, knocking Panthers out. And
Yeah.
then, you know, look, I'm going for him next week. I am.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
for him
Yeah.
next week. I
Yeah. To
think
win the grand final.
win
Yeah.
the grand final. If you want to be anywhere tonight or
Yeah.
next weekend, you want to
Yeah.
be in Brisbane, you know? And
Yes.
it made me think too, remember there was talk a few years ago about should the, grand final always stay in Sydney? Look, there's bigger stadiums in Melbourne. I don't
Yeah. No.
get 100,000, right? They're not going to get 100,000. If they
Yeah,
went to
yeah.
the MCG, would they get 100,000 there? Yes or no?
No, they'd fall just short. Look, I'm just happy with tradition. Let's just keep it in Sydney. It
Yeah,
would be a great story that 2 years later, the AFL, the Lions win the grand final and then the Broncos win the grand final after doing the double loss 2 years earlier.
yeah,
That would be awesome. I'm happy for Michael Maguire because that was a risky move having him as a new coach this
yeah,
year because they got rid of Kevin Walters after having a disappointing season the year after he took the Broncos to the grand final. Now,
yeah.
a lot of people halfway through the season when the Broncos went on a little bit of a losing streak go, what have they done?
Hmm.
They didn't give Kevin Walters enough of a go.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, apparently they pulled the right rein because
yeah,
Maguire is in the same position that Kevin Walters was at the
yeah,
height of his
yeah, yeah,
powers. And I actually think it's been a good move having Michael Maguire as coach because he's taken out a bit of that rock star element that the Broncos had. He's a bit of a Sergeant Slaughter, a bit of a Clint Eastwood, get the hell off my lawn kind of guy.
yeah.
Drop and give me 100. He's one of those.
What do you mean, get the
So,
hell off my lawn? Did Clint Eastwood ever say,
well, that was a quote from, what was it, Gran Torino? Get off my.
oh, yeah,
And Clint Eastwood was that grumpy old bugger.
yeah, what a
Uh,
movie. That's a great
it,
movie. I'm
it,
not
it
your
was a
bro. Remember with the gun? I'm not your bro, and your bros don't like you either, and all that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
what a
it
movie.
was a great movie. And let me tell you, there was no one who was more relieved in that stadium than Reece Walsh when he
Yeah,
did that pass that led to that last try
yeah,
because he missed a conversion from almost dead set in front. It
yeah,
was just a fraction to the right or
yeah,
left of the post.
yeah, yeah.
And it hit the post and he's just like, oh my God. And for Adam Reynolds to kick that from the sideline at that crucial point was amazing. Now, I actually think that Adam Reynolds has been wanting a moment like that. He's been living with that for the last 2 years
Yeah, because
after what happened at the grand final.
he's missed out on two. Well, he's been in two grand finals for two different teams. Is that right?
Yeah.
And lost them both. Is that right?
He did have a win with South early on back in 2014.
Okay, yeah,
So
yeah.
Adam Reynolds does have a victory to his name. But the thing
This will be
is
his last bite at the cherry, though. This will be it.
his last bite at the cherry.
Yeah.
And interesting statistic, this was Nathan Cleary's first loss in a day game since 2019.
And you see, he had a bit of a tiff with Ezra Mann. Do you see?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and it really felt like, you got the golden boy, Nathan Cleary,
yeah,
who can't do wrong, and Ezra,
yeah,
who likes to get drunk and smash into, women with babies, send,
yeah, yeah.
is a villain, is a
He's
villain.
a massive villain,
Oh,
mate. He
no.
shouldn't. I'm not. I promised myself I'm not going to go down a weird rabbit hole, but
No.
he should not be in that grand final, and he should never have been playing this year.
Yeah, yeah. I,
That said, I do have some advice for Ezra Mam
yeah,
and the Brisbane Broncos this year,
yeah, yeah,
and leading into
yeah.
the grand final. My grand final advice would
Is
be
don't
to
drink and drive? Don't drink and drive?
keep
Oh,
well, three of them.
wait. He
I've
didn't
got
drink. Wasn't he on the Coke? He was on the Coke, was he? Was he
I've
on?
got, hang on. I've
Yeah.
got three rules for
Okay.
Ezra Mam leading into the grand
Let's hear
final.
him. Three. Come on.
Keep him away from adult drinks,
Yep. Okay.
keep him away from party lollies,
Party lollies.
and keep him away from car keys. There you go.
Yeah, yeah,
There's your
yeah,
trifecta.
yeah,
Brisbane Broncos, Ezra Mam, you're fucking welcome.
yeah. That works for me. Keep away
Yeah,
from
work,
sherbet.
and it'll work for him if he, paints by numbers and follows the dots, because I don't think there's too much upstairs.
What if he starts
Good
drinking
player though.
toilet water? Is he allowed to drink toilet water with his mate?
Oh yeah, look, Reese will be having several
Toilet
rounds
water.
of the toilet
Yeah,
water. Let me
yeah.
tell you.
Yeah, he can drink toilet water. He just can't drink
Mm.
adult drinks because toilet water is not an adult drink. It's more of like a dog drink. Dogs drink from
Well,
toilets. And Reese,
ever since he's ever since he's done it, it's been like what spinach is to Popeye.
yeah,
And he's been playing phenomenal. The Broncos
phenomenal.
have been doing well.
Yeah,
So on that Royal Dalton toilet,
yeah,
that flusher will be going into overdrive this
yeah.
week.
Yeah, they need to like change the bobblers, like and
Yeah,
say bobbler closed for new bobbler, like pedestrians this way into one of the
yeah,
cubicles. Yeah,
yeah. So no, look, it shapes up to be a good week. And just another interesting statistic on Reece Walsh.
yeah.
This was officially his first victory against the Panthers
Oh, okay, yeah.
while playing for Brisbane. So he was 0-7, he's 1-7, got himself into a grand final. So it's all up for the Broncos for here. Mind you, I will say this, the Storm will not go away. The
Yeah.
Storm
And
will be a very difficult side to beat.
and a talking point too is like when has there been another grand final where one of the teams has had 2 days rest more than the other?
Yeah, that's a good point too.
Like
And
how did that happen? Why did it happen?
as a scheduling issue, they actually changed the schedule a bit this year.
Scheduling, yeah.
And
So was there a little bit of money under the table?
yeah, I have a feeling the schedule was thrown out when they moved the Raiders game from a night game to a Sunday game.
Mm.
At all the other games. So it threw everything out into a bad balance. And in many respects, it gives the Storm a little bit of an
I
advantage.
think more than a little bit of advantage. Another
Yeah,
day's rest before
100%.
a grand final is not a little bit of an advantage.
It's practically 48 hours rest,
Yeah,
give or take a couple of hours, not
yeah,
many. It's
yeah,
literally 2 days worth of resting the aches and bruises and
yeah.
potential injuries. That's a big advantage.
Phenomenal
Mm.
advantage.
Yeah,
And we haven't
yeah.
seen it before, but
Mhm.
really, it shouldn't happen like that. Like the
Yeah,
teams, to be fair,
yeah,
should play at the same time. I know that's not going to happen, but
yeah.
to be fair, that should happen.
Look, I don't mind 1 day advantage or
Yeah,
24 hours. That's not too bad.
yeah.
But to have another day on top of that, and particularly considering the fact that Melbourne have players like Pappenhausen, Hughes, Munster, and Grant, like they're already superstars,
Yeah,
and you're giving and Coates,
yeah.
and you're giving them an extra day rest. Like you are right, the advantage is absolutely massive.
Now, if we were staring down the barrel of a gun, right, and
Yeah,
Storm playing Panthers, I don't think like of course Storm players and Panthers players would be happy, but
yeah.
generally
Mm.
rugby league and most fans would not be happy because we are sick of Panthers winning. Sure, great dynasty, blah blah, 4 years, whatever.
Yeah.
But we're sick of
Mm.
the Storm and we're sick of the Panthers.
Yeah. As I said to you
So
last
sick of
week,
them, Drew. We're
yeah,
so sick of them. We're going for the Broncos. Nobody
I
likes the
know.
Broncos. Only Broncos
Yeah,
supporters like the Broncos. Not even Broncos supporters like themselves. They're very disliked people. Very disliked. Yet here we are going for the Broncos because you're sick of the Storm. You're sick of the Panthers. That's that.
yeah, it is.
Is there a point
Look,
in what I'm saying? Probably not.
no, you're right. I didn't want that grand final again. It's
Yeah,
like what I described last week. It's like being in Silverwater prison
yeah.
and getting a third helping of imitation gruel. You
Imitation.
don't want to go down that path
Right.
again.
No, we don't want to, and we're not. So,
No.
predictions, Joey.
But you know what else it's all about? I will give you
Yeah,
predictions.
yeah. Well,
It's like,
prediction, not predictions.
yeah,
Prediction,
prediction. Uh,
prediction.
my other analogy, what it's like, is being the ladies' man that I am back in my single days,
Yeah. I
having
remember.
the girl who only had two teeth in her mouth
Yeah.
constantly wanting a piece of me,
Yeah, I remember
and
her.
having the girl with the wooden eye.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I'm going with the one with the two teeth,
Yeah.
but I've been with her about three times in a row.
Yeah.
So eventually you just go, no, I've had enough of you.
Yeah.
I'm choosing the one with the wooden eye. And
Choose
that's what it was
the
like going for the Broncos
choose the
today.
wooden eye. I'm
So
choosing
I
the
chose the
wooden
wooden
eye
eye.
too. Me too,
Yeah.
mate. Let's choose the chick with the wooden eye. Now listen.
Yeah.
Okay. Prediction. Okay. Well, fluff it up a bit. To be
Yeah.
honest, unfortunately, it feels as though the Storm are going to do it.
Yes and no, not necessarily. The
Mm.
one thing I do think that the Broncos have in their favour is
Toilet water.
I haven't seen this amount of resilience and resolve from a side in a long time. They have had a bit of a soft underbelly and a bit of a rock star, sort of fair or unfair label attached to them. But you consider how they came back against Canberra, 16 points down with 16 minutes to go,
Yeah.
got past Golden Point, got into extra time and won that game
Yeah.
behind by 14 against Panthers
Yeah.
in a preliminary final, no less, to get
Yeah.
into the grand final. They have a big swag of momentum and self belief
Yeah.
when they're behind.
Yeah.
That said, I think you can only pull the Houdini trick so many times and get out of jail. And if
Yeah.
they try that against the Storm, I think it could be a very hard, long, and sorry night. For
Yeah.
the record, I think it'll be a close game, but I just think the Storm will have a little bit too much class. Thank you.
Let's go.
10 minutes to go, and just be that little bit more rested.
Yeah, well, they're going to be rested. What they're going to be a lot
Yeah.
more rested, 24 hours
Yeah.
extra rested. You know, I know that, Broncos play last week, 13 more
Yeah.
minutes, but although I guess that doesn't matter, but the 2 days extra matters.
I mean, and apart from the fact that at the beginning of the season, I actually picked the Storm to win the Premiership this year. So I'm sticking by my pick.
Yeah. Okay. So,
For better or for worse. One thing that I will talk about just briefly. Now, it's not a subject we often talk about as referees.
yeah.
NRL, please do not pick Ashley Klein.
Okay.
He he was in the Sharks Storm game and he blew 22 penalties,
Mm,
which is roughly a stoppage every 3.5 minutes.
mm.
Ashley Klein, you are not Calvin Klein. We are
No.
not here to see you. You are an accessory we do not need to buy into.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, who they
So,
get? Who do you reckon they'll choose?
or anyone else, I don't care who it is. The guy who refereed the Broncos and Panthers.
Yeah. Okay.
Know the other referees because they do their job properly, but for some reason, the NRL want to keep picking Ashley Klein, who seems like the worst of the bunch.
Yeah.
And I only know his name because he's so terrible, but
Yeah.
they keep picking him
Yeah.
because for some reason they think he's the best.
Yeah.
Who knows? But yeah, my 2 cents.
Can I just ask, are you in a new kind of room or something? I see the bricks on the left-hand side. Is that?
Yeah, no, it was just better for the lighting. That's actually the bathroom
Ah, okay. Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
the background. So yeah, it was just better for the lighting. That's all.
It looks like very nice, like staged, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does a little bit. Wasn't my
Yeah.
intention, but
Yeah.
it was a very nice bathroom. I
Yeah.
like looking at those bricks. It's actually my favorite room in the house,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I have all of my best ideas and thoughts in
Do your
there.
best
So
work
there
in
you go.
there when you're sitting there.
Absolutely, yes.
All right, so
But no, it should be
that's
good.
it. Aussie rules done and dusted for 2025.
Yep.
Congratulations, Brisbane. Grand
Yes.
final next week. Can
Yes.
Brisbane really be the best place to be this weekend? And the answer is probably yes. This weekend it was the best. Is it going to be
Yep.
next weekend the best place to be?
I think that, you know what? It's such a tight game.
Yeah,
And I am not going to be surprised if the Broncos win at all.
yeah,
But I'm going to stick by my tip. It was my instinct early on. I think 2 days extra of rest and
mm,
nothing to be sneezed at. I think the Storm players are very well rested. That being said, they didn't play particularly well against the Sharks,
yeah,
but you've also got to remember they're pretty good at the big games, the
yeah.
Melbourne Storm.
I don't.
So who's your tip? Did you actually say?
Yeah, unfortunately, the Storm. I think the Storm will win, but I don't want them to. I'm going for
Yeah.
the wooden eyes, the wooden eye picker.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think I might go for the Bronx as well. So we'll
yeah.
see what happens there. That would be nice.
Mm,
Which I can't believe I'm saying it because anyone who tunes into this podcast knows how much I hate Queensland and
yeah,
Queenslanders with an absolute passion.
yeah. But you know, wooden eye. That's all you need to say. You need just look
Wouldn't I?
wooden eye.
Yes.
Um,
But you know what? There's that element I, I would kind of like to see. It would be historic
yeah,
seeing the Lions from the AFL and the Broncos from the NRL
yeah,
reversing the grand final results two
yeah,
years later that
yeah,
they had 2 years earlier.
yeah. It'd be exciting.
Yeah.
It'd be
So no, it
something to
will
talk
be
about here.
exciting.
It's something to talk
Yeah.
about on the Red Hot Underdogs. You know.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
of course, everybody is looking forward to Teddy Swims.
And the oh yeah, whoever that is.
Yeah.
The, the Cinderella story of the
Yeah.
year was Canberra.
They were.
They were
They
the
were.
Cinderellas. They played so good. You know, they got top of the what's it called? You know,
Minor premiership.
minor premise. And
Yeah.
then the shoe just didn't fit.
Mate, I think they're a real huge chance for next year. And I wasn't being harsh thinking they were going to go out in straight sets. I just didn't think they had enough experience, and they didn't. And they had a very young side, and I worried for them on the big stage. But guess what? They've seen the big stage now. There's
Mm,
no guarantee they'll get minor premiership because that's very hard to do. But I think, given what I saw this year, there's every chance they could get a top four berth. And I am positive that if they do get in the top four or even the semis, they will deal with the situation so much better next year.
yep. So we've only got one more episode to do of finals
Yeah.
footy. And
Yes.
then what? We're going to talk about cricket. We're going to talk about
We can talk about cricket. We can
you
do
know,
a few little niche top 10 shows.
top 10 shows, sport.
So we've got a few of them. I've actually got one in the woodwork that could come out, which
Yeah.
is top five Mad Monday meltdowns of all time,
Oh yeah, I
which
like that.
I think will be kind of fun. And
Yeah,
we can do that after the season.
yeah.
So,
Yep. And I mean, we don't really talk much about soccer, but the World
yeah.
Cup next year, I'm sure we're going to talk about that.
Yes, absolutely.
That's
That'll
going
be
to be fun.
good.
That's going to be
Yeah.
fun. So
Go the Socceroos.
go to Socceroos. We're in it,
Yeah.
right? Socceroos are in
I
it.
think so. I think so.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
Socceroos.
kind of wouldn't mind seeing Italy in it for a team that
Yeah,
claims that that's their signature sport. They sure as hell haven't been there for quite a while.
yeah. No, we'd be good.
Mm.
I love talking about soccer. I can talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
soccer. I just
mm.
don't enjoy watching it as much. But
Yeah,
like talking about with you and the World Cup. Lots to talk about. Superstars. It's going to be great.
yeah.
Looking forward to that next year. Really, really looking.
I seem to piss off the die-hard soccer fans when I tell them that my favourite moment is the penalty shootout.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
if you are looking for a good soccer DVD out there, look
yeah,
for World Cup Soccer's greatest nil-all draws.
yeah,
It's an absolute banger.
yeah.
3 hours of edge of your seat mayhem
Oh
comes
my God.
highly recommended by
Yeah,
the Red Hot Underdogs
yeah,
podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
I've got
So
paint dry.
plenty to do. plenty of episodes
Yeah,
left of the Red Hot Underdogs if you're desperate enough to still listen to us
yeah,
after the footy season. And
yeah,
remember to like and subscribe.
yeah.
Yeah, so that'll all be good. Hey,
One
because
minute,
remember,
50 seconds, cuz. 1 minute, 50 seconds.
okay, because anyone who remembers or who is still with us, which might not be,
Yeah.
because
No one's
I
here.
guess our viewers have gone down like soldiers in Gallipoli, but
Yeah, yeah,
anyone who's still with us from last year
yeah.
will remember we had several little niche episodes, and one in particular where we even ran out of topics. We called it the black hole episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
The black hole was like there wasn't really any sport on,
No.
right?
We were talking about rugby league 4 months out from it.
Yeah, so like the rugby league had finished. I think A League had finished and like we were
Yeah.
like we're in a black hole. We talked about a bit about boxing and
I remember in that episode, I think it was in November, and
yeah.
we were talking about Magic Round in NRL, which is just
Ah,
crazy. Yeah, because we were in a black hole, you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
But we didn't descend as far as doing the squash results from the Hornsby Recreational Centre.
Oh, it's pretty
So
good. I hear Lee Hutchison's doing really well in the squash.
very good.
You know?
We definitely didn't get that desperate, but hey, grand final next week. Looking forward.
Do you know how they score?
Heaps to go.
Do you know how they score? Like, is it first to
No, never played it.
yeah.
I only eat squash. I don't play it.
I don't eat it or play it, you know.
You should try it. It's very nice. One of my favourite vegetables. It's
a weird
awesome.
I just don't think I want to eat something that looks like that.
Mate, it tastes as good as it looks. If that's not a recommendation, I don't know what the fuck is.
Great
Beautiful.
episode, Drewy.
Thanks, everyone.